Welcome back to Determined to Praise. So as you guys know, for the month of May, in honor of Mother's Day, I wanted to have different moms come on, different women come on, and just share their testimony, their stories of how they, grieved on Mother's Day for the different child loss. And I just felt like it's really important that we honor these different women, because Mother's Day just isn't always a celebration for everybody. Even the mothers who have children, some of us are still mourning the loss of our children. And so I felt like it was just really, really important to highlight that, to honor them, to show love, to show respect to them, because they still matter. Their hurt matters, their pain matters. And so we need to talk about it more, because it's really not talked about enough. So last but not least, we have my Aunt Stacy on. And a lot of you guys probably heard her testimony already, but again, it's still important. What she went through is important, and how she grieved on Mother's Day is still important. So I had to bring her on. I could not bring you on. I had to bring you on to share your story, to encourage the women, because I felt like, this was just a really great thing, and I had to honor you. I had to give you a chance. So I have my Aunt Stacy on, and she's going to share her story, her testimony, and we're going to do our best to encourage the different women and mothers all over this world.
So, my story, I bore 3 children, March the 15th, it's been 7 years now. My son was murdered. And, as a mother, that's the hardest thing that anyone can go through. Losing a child is, I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy. Yeah. But people have to understand, even though I'm in the place that I am with God, because God saved me in all of this, I'm still human. Yeah. I still got flesh. Right. I'm still flesh. Mm-hmm. And I'm still got emotions. I still hurt, because I'm a mom. Right. And Mother's Day is hard for me. Mm-hmm. And it's just certain days that are just, holidays are just hard. Mother's Day, Christmas, Father's Day, because he was a father. So all these emotions get all wrapped up, and then they all pile up on you on days like Mother's Day. And every Mother's Day, the week of Mother's Day, when Mother's Day coming, is just like, I could feel the weight of heaviness on me. And like I preached on that Sunday, ever since he had passed, Apostle Parker has had me up there preaching, and I know that he knows that this is a way to relieve. But I also know that, like, the whole week I kept crying and kept crying and kept crying and kept crying, because I'm not complete. People don't understand how much I miss Kevin. Like, I look at his pictures, and it's like, it's still unreal to me. I know it has happened, but it's unreal. Like, I don't know. I know that people see me as like this strong person, and I got this cape on my back, and they have to understand that when the lights are, when nobody else is around, and I'm in my room by myself, and I'm thinking about how I had 3 children, and one of them is gone, and I can't get him back. I know that he lives in me, but people have to understand, this was somebody that I carried, that I shared 20 years, almost 21 years of his life. And somebody came along and just took him away. And Mother's Day is hard for me. It's just, all week I'm crying, all week I'm upset, all week I'm just reminiscing. I was just looking at a picture of him the other day, and I looked at his picture, and it's just like, and I asked, and because I talked to God, because it's hard to express myself to other people. And I talked to God and I said, why me? And I understand it, but I don't understand it. And I said, God, why me? Because I tried to be a good mom, and people don't understand when it's something like a murder and it's a young black man, they look at a mom different.
Yeah.
And they look at me different. When people hear that Kevin got shot, they look at me different. They're like, what did you do?
Right.
Why did you let him be in the streets? And they don't understand he wasn't that guy.
Right.
He wasn't that guy. Like, he wasn't this horrible person. And he was really a good kid. Like, he was really, really a good kid. Respectful kid. He just got caught up in the wrong thing at the wrong time.
Right.
And people look at you different. So when Mother's Day come around and mothers are being honored and stuff like that, you remember how people looked at you or things that they said and the smart comments that were made behind back, because you have to understand, with someone like Kevin was so well known and everybody knew him and everybody came around. And I remember when Kevin first passed away, with so many people around and you couldn't pick out the snakes out of the bunch. But they was there to watch, and people don't understand all of this weighs down on you when Mother's Day come around. And then, being able to see one of his kids but not the other kid, all these things come into play.
Yeah.
I just, I want somebody to know that it's going to be okay, but you have to deal with your grief. I was the person who everybody was dependent on. I was the person that was holding everybody up. Have I grieved properly? No. I can be honest with myself, and I haven't. Don't be scared of therapy, because I need to be in therapy because of times like this. When Mother's Day comes around and I'm in so much pain, people don't understand. I be literally in so much pain that my chest hurt, because not only was he the baby, he was my only son. And his father has other children, but that was my boy, and he's gone. And when it first happened, I asked, and I was like, God, why? Just why? Like, I need to know why. I just need to know why. And and it comes out as the time goes by and the times go by, and it's like people, want to say, time heals all wounds. But it doesn't.
My friend said the exact same thing.
It doesn't. It doesn't. Time doesn't heal wounds. Because as a mother, you think about no birthdays. What would he have been doing today? At his age today? He'll never get to see his daughter go to the prom. He'll never get to see his son go to the prom. He'll never get to see his kids graduate. He'll never get to see me get married. He never get to see me preach. He'll never get to see his sisters, kids grow up. And this all weighs down on me. And then the other part that weighs down on me is his sisters. Like, I know that my daughters are hurting. And as a mother, you want to take that pain away from them, but I can't take it away from them because that's their pain. But I want to as a mother, because I know how they feel just a little bit, because I feel different because I'm a mom, but I know how they feel because they was so close. Like, when I say close, like, you'd have thought I had triplets, but it's the pain of, I want to take that pain away from them. I want to take that pain away from my kids. I want to take that pain away from my heart, but it's there. It really, really is there. Not to say that I can't get past it, but because I'm fighting through it, and that's what people need to understand, that I'm fighting through it. I'm standing on what God said, that I'm gonna be okay. I'm standing on that God's gonna handle this. That this ain't about me. This is about what God can do in my life and what He has done in my life thus far, and that, you know, these weapons that I feel that are formed, how people talk and how, you know, certain people know certain things about the murder and they're not saying anything. Those weapons that are being formed, that they won't prosper. You know, that God has the last say. But as a mom, I want that. You know, Kevin said that he was going to walk me down the aisle. I think about these things over and over and over in my head, that He won't get to walk me down the aisle. You know, He won't see me get old. I don't care what nobody say. A mother's not supposed to bury her kid. I wasn't supposed to say goodbye. I wasn't supposed to say goodbye to Kevin. I wasn't supposed to say goodbye. He was supposed to live. I asked God for him. I asked God for a man to love me. And Kevin was everything that I loved about his dad. And his dad walked away from me. God gave it to me and Kevin, and I wasn't supposed to say goodbye to him. And it's just like, when do I ever get a chance to be loved totally and by a human being? Because God loves me totally, but by a human being. And Kevin was my, you know, my girl said he was my favorite, but he wasn't my favorite. It was just, people don't understand that bond between a mother and a son. And he was my only son, and he was my baby. And I asked God for him, and you know, he's not here. He's not here anymore. I long to hear him laugh. I long to hear him, you know, do whatever he's been doing, acting silly, you know, doing things he got absolutely no business doing, you know, getting on our nerves at the least, you know, walking through my front door, you know, Mom, you got something to eat? Or people don't understand, all of this takes a play, you know, it takes a toll on you as you sit there, and it just comes a time where I sit in my room and I take this Superwoman cape that people think that I got on, and I take it off and I lay it to the side, because I gotta sit in it sometimes and understand that it's a pain, and I have to get it out. I have to get the tears out. I have to get this aching pain in my heart out, because it hurts so bad. People don't understand how heavy it is to know that he's sitting on my kitchen table, you know, because not the kitchen table, but my accent table. He's sitting on that table in a box. He came out of my womb to go in a box. Like, it's just not. I mean, we all got a time to live and a time to die, but as a mom, you don't want your kids to die. You don't want your kids. You don't want to say goodbye to your kids before their time. And it's just like, he's gone. People understand, he's gone. He's not. It's not that he's gonna ever come back, because he's not. And I understand all of that, but it hurt so bad, and people don't. I don't get the chance to say it hurt. Y'all understand? It hurt. I want to yell to people. It hurt. I want my baby back. It hurts, and they don't get it. It really, really hurts that I don't get to see him. I don't get to say goodbye to him. You know, and then you get tortured with the grandkids and people pulling on you, and you know. You don't get to say goodbye. I never got a chance to say goodbye. I never got a chance to say I love you. I think about, did he yell for me? Did he yell and say, Mom, come help me? Come help me. And I wasn't there to help him. These things play in your mind. And Mother's Day ain't good all the time. It's just not a good thing all the time. It's not. It really, really is not a good thing all the time. I honor myself as being a mother, but it's not a good thing all the time, because I hurt so bad, because I had 3 children. I had three. And he's still my kid, but he's not here. He's not here to say, Mommy, I love you. He's not here to say, Mom, I need your help. He's not here. Listen, I don't care what nobody say. I want my son to say, Mom, I want your help. Mom, I need your help. I want to hear that. You know, I want you know, I got my girls, and let me tell y'all something. I don't care what we go through. We think it's thieves, but we all hurting differently, and we all hurting in the same but differently. But I don't want to hurt them because I'm hurting. I don't want to hurt nobody else because I'm hurting, because I know Kevin friends, his Chris ain't even his cousin, is like his brother. They was thick as thieves too, and I'm standing because of them. Because I'm gonna be so honest, if I didn't have God and my kids and the people that are true to me and love me, especially like my church family, I would give up. I would honestly give up. If I wasn't walking in God the way I'm walking, I would give up. Because when he died, I wanted to give up. I wanted to say, no, I'm not gonna live here without him. And I know I got my other kids, but it was just like, just, you know, why him, you know, why can't, you know, and I asked that question, like, why can't, you know, why him, like this, like, it's as much as people want to say, his spirit was different. He was different, and people say it all the time, like, oh, he was such a good kid, and then I hear other things, and I'm just like, listen, and just leave me be, like, leave me be. And because they don't understand, like, when days like Mother's Day come along and y'all done said these things and y'all done did these things, leave me be. Who calls and checks on me? Nobody calls and checks on me. You know, certain people call and check on me, but everybody don't call and check on me. And they don't understand how I feel right now. They don't understand how I feel, how I felt 7 years ago. I still feel that same way today. And the only thing different is that I'm a little bit stronger today. And I get a little bit stronger every year. Every year I get a little bit stronger. But it still hurts. And it's so hard to explain how you could be a mom and lose a kid, and you don't have him to say, you know, Mommy, I love you. I got this little silver heart thing that he bought me before he died, and it says Mom on it, and he rushed home. He just rushed home to give it to me before Mother's Day, because he was trying to beat Kiki getting there, because Kiki beats everybody in giving gifts to everybody. Kiki beats everybody. If you want a gift and Kiki's going to give it to you, she's going to beat everybody to the punch and get you a gift. And he ran home, and I remember him, and I see this so in my head so vividly. He came in with that locket, and I don't have the locket anymore, but he in a little thing, and it said Mom on the front of it. He was so proud of himself that he got me something, and he beat Kiki getting it to me. And I have it, and I look at it sometimes, and I'm just like, people don't understand. I got pictures, I got little things of his, you know, but it ain't the same, because I want his presence. I want his presence. I want to hear him get in my bed, because, you know, he was still a baby. Like, as grown as he was still climbing in the bed next to me, and be a kid, you know, be his kid self as an adult. And it just, people don't understand it. You know, a lot of people say, well, you know, you say that you're a preacher and you doing this and you doing that, but I have emotions, I have feelings, like, and the only reason why I push and I preach and I do the things of God is because I know if he was here, he be tapping on me like, Mom, you got this, you can do this. And I have to keep that in my head, because if I don't keep it in my head, who knows where I would have been today if I didn't keep that in my head. And it's totally different than what people think. People think that, you know, they don't see you crying anymore. They don't see you, you know, dwelling in it, as they say, that you're not. But I don't dwell in his death as much as I did in the beginning, because I know that I'll see him again. But the pain's still there. The hurt is still there. The tears are still there. Like, I have to cry, because if I don't cry, I'll go crazy, because I'm in my grieving stage and I get angry. I get angry because somebody took that Kevin was so precious. My kids are precious to me, period. But they just don't understand, like, he was my baby. Like, when I had him, I want no more kids. That was it for me. I just wanted that little boy in my life. Like, I needed those 3 kids complete me. And people don't understand that they saved my life. My kids saved my life. Like, I was so depressed that I wanted to die, but my kids saved my life. They saved my life. And then somebody takes his life. It just wasn't right. It wasn't right. And people have to understand, as strong as I am, I'm still a mom. I'm still a mom. I'm still got feelings. I still hurt. I'm still a mom. And people have to understand, like, days like this is not easy. It's been a hard week. Even when I got up there and preached Sunday, Mother's Day, it took everything in me, and I knew that it had to be God that said it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. You got this. And it was an honor to him, to my son, that I could get up there and give God a word. Give God a word and be good, you know, because I knew that God would he would pull me through it.
I'm sorry, I have these tissues ready for you.
and he knew that I would get through it, because he made me this way. You know, God made me this way. He made me strong. He made me stronger than most people. You know, I could have turned another way, and I could have let my pain turn into destruction. But I didn't let my pain turn into destruction. I didn't let it hurt me. I didn't let it hurt me in a way where I can't come back. And sometimes I feel by myself, and I feel alone, because nobody understands how I feel. Nobody really gets it. They really don't get it, and they don't understand that I'm still human. I'm not a superwoman. I'm still human. I'm still flesh. I still cry at night. I go back to the day that I had him, in hopes that one day I won't feel this way, and I know that God's gonna strengthen me even the more. But right now, it just is beginning to take a toll on me, on my heart, because I want him back, and I can't have him back. I can't get him back the way, you know. It's just, this is the whole reason why I fight the way I fight, you know. And and you know, my fight is in God. You know, if I didn't have God, and I didn't look like a mess right now, but I'm not. I'm holding on so dearly that, and I'm holding on to what God is saying to me. I'm holding on to every inch of what God got for me. I'm holding on to everything I got left in me that belongs to God and not myself. You know, I'm not of myself. I'm of God, and it is this. He made me up, and He made He made my heart the way it is to love on other people. And a lot of times when you don't get that love back, and people are not genuine with you anymore, and everybody that you done helped, and everybody that, you know, it makes you be like, did you treat your kids the same way? You know, because people make you feel like you did so much wrong to them, and like, people don't understand all these things take play. They all take play in your life. They all take presidents, and they pull on you, and you hurt, and people don't understand. Like when you steal away, it ain't that you want to be isolated or anything like that. I just need time for my thoughts, because I get so angry sometimes because I want him back. I get so angry, and I want him to be in my life, and he's not there. And I cry, and I just want some mom to know that. I know you see me up here crying, but it's just sometimes you have to let these things go, and you have to release them, and you have to understand that all things are going to work out for your good. This wasn't about me. The death wasn't about me, even though it hurt me, but it wasn't about me. It's about some other mom that's going to go through and not understand the strength that God can give them, or they get ready to go the other way. And I'm just saying to them, don't go the other way. Turn towards God. Give him your all. Put it all on the table. Listen, I put it all on the table. God he's hearing me right now, putting it all on the table. And he's going to begin to heal and stitch up. No one will ever take Kevin's place. No one will ever take his place in my heart. But God will fill that void so much that you'll think, and you'll be like, one day I'm gonna see him again. But my time ain't my time is not my son's time. And then people have to understand, even when I'm in my state where I'm in so much sorrow and I'm in so much pain from his death, God will speak to me, and I hear him whisper in my ear that, listen, you're out there fighting. He ain't out there fighting. I got him, and I got you out there so that you can live past this and show somebody else that they can live past this. And people be like, well, you don't hate the people that did this. I don't hate anyone. I wouldn't wish this on their own mother. I wouldn't wish this on their sisters or their brothers. Because who am I to preach the gospel and then want to inflict pain on someone else? I don't want any mother to ever feel this pain. I happen to look at your son in a casket and say goodbye because somebody else ripped his life up, ripped him from your life. I don't want no other mother to go through that. But I also want a mom to know that, listen, when things like this happen, whether it was a miscarriage, whether it was murder, whether it was, however it was, that God has the last say. And even when that hole in your heart feels like it's bigger than life, God is filling that hole up day by day, inch by inch. Because they don't understand what God's doing in me right now. He's stitching up everything from before he died until after he died until right now. He's filling up every little hole. He patching it up like a painter uses. He patching each hole up in my heart. Every hole is being patched up, and he's saying, I'm going to renew your heart. Because when you patch up a hole in the wall's still there. Mm-hmm. The wall's still there. It's solid. The wall's still there. And God said, I'm doing the same thing with your heart. Kevin's still in your heart, but I'm just going to patch up these holes with the word, with my spirit. I'm going to patch up these holes in your heart so that you could be renewed and be the woman of God that I called you to be, or be the man of God that I called you to be. You have to let God, you have to allow God to fill up these holes, even on Mother's Day, when you're feeling like that. This is why, even when I get that roster and it says my name on it to preach, I never say no. I can't say no. I can't say no because I don't want some other mom to say no. I don't want her to turn away from God. I don't want her to be like, I can't do this anymore. This is what God intended for you to do. Listen, he snatched things away from you in the natural like the people, the other people, not your kid, but the other people. He snatched those things away from you so that you can heal properly and that you can grow in him. He doesn't want you to depend on people, because what people do, they let you lean on them for a little while and they slip away from you. And that's what happened to me. People, I don't see the people that I used to see. Everybody's slipping away from me. They liking me one minute, they're not liking me the next minute. They slipped away. And I don't want to live like that anymore. You know, and that's the story.
Stacy.
Yes.
For one, thank you. Thank you. For two, I appreciate your honesty and your vulnerability. And I really hope that it encourages someone else to be able to do the same, because it doesn't matter who you are in God and what you're doing here in life. We have feelings, we have emotions, we have pain, and we're allowed to feel those things. You know, we have our weak moments, we have our strong moments, but all of it makes up who we are. So we're allowed to feel our emotions, to feel our pain, to cry, to weep, to mourn. You're allowed to have those emotions, and you have to release them because they're a part of you. But that doesn't make you weak. It doesn't mean that you're not strong. It doesn't mean that you cannot be who God called you to be. All of these things make up who we are. But we have to be honest with ourselves, with our pain, with our vulnerability. And we have to share it, because with her sharing it, it's going to give somebody else strength to know, wow, so I shouldn't be ashamed of these weak moments. I shouldn't be ashamed of this pain I feel when Mother's Day comes around. I shouldn't be sad and feel like I'm not a strong person because I cry because I miss my child. You're allowed to have those emotions. You're allowed to feel those things. And we're going to cry. We're going to be in pain. We're going to be upset. And we're going to get up the next day and know that God is going to just continue to strengthen us. He's going to continue to be with us and give us what we need to keep moving forward, because we can't do it without him. It's impossible. It's only him that we're here. It's only him that we're alive. It's only him that we're allowed to share our testimonies and be able to strengthen other mothers and women across this world. So I really pray that this video encourages you guys, that it lets you know that you're allowed to feel, you're allowed to hurt, you're allowed to grieve, and you're allowed to get back up the next day and be strong and be powerful. Stay encouraged, stay strong, stay hopeful. Know that God hears you, he sees you, and he's with you. He's going to continue to help you fight these battles. Please continue to like, share, subscribe. Like, share, comment, and subscribe, and stay tuned, because we're going to have fathers on for next month in honor of Father's Day. I hope that you guys have a great day and you guys are able to be encouraged. Bye.